talking about the tales that never tire. Ghosts and ghouls up in the trees, whispering secrets on the breeze. Down in the holler where shadows hide, lights flicker where the spirits glide. They swear they saw Jim, now gone, walking around with his boots still on. Unseen things in the Appalachian night, haunted fields where the moon don't lie. Cryptids howl and the stories flow. Jenn and Coco, they surely know.
Hello.
Hi.
Good evening.
We're here back again.
Welcome back where the Appalachian woods whisper and the ghost still got something to say.
What the what are you talking
I don't know.
about?
Tonight we're heading down to the dark heart of Tennessee to a stretch of land where the night's been restless for over 200 years. Adams, home of the infamous Bell Witch. We're going to touch on some other stuff. We're going to touch on some other witches. We're going to touch on granny magic and, you know, what that means to that region. We have these new mics, so
Are they working?
I don't know. Let me
Hello.
check. Let me check. Hold on. Oh, it's still playing this. Wait, where you at?
Check.
We'll check in a minute.
1 2
We'll check
1
in.
2. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Can you hear us out there, people?
So it's almost Halloween time. Wait, here we go.
Are they working?
Yeah, they're working
Hey,
good.
they're working.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, it's working, guys. All right. So it is the Halloween season. It is almost that night.
I'm excited.
Yeah, well, that's because we're going away. I mean, we are in Appalachia, but we're going deep into Appalachia. We're staying at a cabin.
Oh, why are they so small?
I don't know. Everybody's writing. Oh, there we go. We'll do that. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. We're going to the Smoky Mountains. We got a cabin. Us and some of my family. Severville. I never really
Okay.
knew how you pronounce that.
Me either.
So we're going there. We're getting there on Halloween night, and then staying till like the 4th. We got lots of fun stuff. Dollywood, except
Excited.
Dollywood's not going to be set up for Halloween though. It'll be set up for Christmas because they actually use next week. They close off Dollywood and then they switch from their because they have a crazy like pumpkin display and like all the stuff. They switch from that to their crazy Christmas display. So I'm pretty excited. You look super confused.
I'm confused because I was just thinking about the message that you sent me on TikTok when I was like about that.
Yeah, you asked me that, and I said, yeah, they set up Christmas. That's
I
just
didn't realize, like, okay.
yeah.
Anywho, we're gonna be there. It's gonna be fun, anyways. Hi, everybody in the comments.
Yes.
I'm gonna put this back on here. It keeps tickling my neck though, and I forget that it's there. So
Careful
I
of
keep
that other thing because it could like a little puff would come off.
Oh, sorry. I keep thinking it's like a spider on my neck.
Yeah. So
Okay.
we're not going to be doing live podcasts quite as much in the future. Probably like once in a blue moon. We're going to pre-record them because we feel like we can give you better quality stuff.
Yeah, we've been talking about that for a while.
Yeah.
We want to pre-record. Like
Our lives are crazy. We can't always guarantee we can be on it, Thursday.
We want to do like an actual like good quality podcast, and then do like a live where we can just like sit and
Yeah, we should do
talk
lives
like
ever
this.
so
That's
often.
not like scripted or anything like
Yeah.
themed or anything like that.
I think
Just come on and
I think after this we're gonna go on TikTok live for just a little bit.
yeah.
and
Oh
say
wait, you
hello.
mean like after this?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
after
Now we'll
this
just have
live will be on.
so we'll have a more
TikTok.
casual conversation.
Keep track of all the lives.
So I
I
have
wore my cooter shirt tonight.
I have 3
Sorry.
TikToks. I got the one that I used that I always ran, the one that's 217,000 followers, which is crazy.
That is crazy.
I know. Then I got 80,000 now on Instagram, and that's not counting my
Listen,
other pages.
I have 1,000 followers on Instagram, so
And it's not about
what are you
followers.
gonna do about that?
Small follower counts. Small follower counts.
Small, yeah. It's just
Smaller.
like, oops, sorry. Small booties matter. Small follower counts matter.
Yes. So no, but it's just really cool to know that like we can reach that far. You know what I mean? Right? That I can get out to that many people.
Yeah.
So we'll be on
for
my
sure.
Appalachia After Dark at Appalachia After Dark on TikTok after this for a little bit.
Hi, Mike.
So anybody listening on Spotify, we may sound like we have major ADHD, which we do, but when we say hi to people or talk, that's because we are live currently,
Mm-hmm.
and it's in real time, so we have people saying hello and stopping by.
Burger King slid into my DMs asking if they can use a picture of me that I posted
I know that's
of my Burger
hilarious.
Queen with my, what's that called? Crown on. I
Yeah.
was like, hell yeah.
That's awesome.
I was
All right.
real excited. Okay.
So you want me
Onward.
to get into it? Get into
Let's get into it. You're
Okay.
going to talk about witch stuff,
yeah. I'll talk
different
about
witches. I'm going to
her-
talk about some granny magic.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So a very famous witch in the Appalachian region, as you all may know, or maybe you don't, is the Bell Witch. You can actually visit the Bell Witch Cave in Tennessee. I haven't been there yet, but it's not exactly where we're going. It's more west of that. But still, very famous case. They
Take a
even made, I
detour.
think it was called An American Haunting. I know the Elder Sutherland, Kiefer's dad,
Mm,
Donald, I think. He was
Kiefer.
in that movie. It
Wrong
was pretty
Kiefer.
good. So
Sorry.
here's an in-depth overview of the legend of the Bell Witch. The dog's chowing down.
Sorry.
Right next to the microphone, too.
Oh, sorry. Dog French fry
ASMR.
ASMR.
Okay. So let me start this again. Here is an in-depth overview of the legend of the Bell Witch, its historical context, key events, characters, reported paranormal phenomena, and the legacy and interpretation of the story. So the events usually date from about 1817 to 1821 on the farm of John Bell Sr., or he was often called Old Jack Bell, near the Red River in Robertson County, Tennessee, which is present-day Adams, Tennessee. The family included, as I mentioned, John Bell Sr., his wife Lucy, and their children, including a daughter commonly called Betsy or Elizabeth. The story occurs in a rural frontier setting, early 19th century Tennessee, deep in southern U.S. folkloric terrain. The isolation and remoteness contributes to the myths, because a lot of these places, I mean, they're not stupid, but they're just simple, and then there's like I feel like the folklore and the myths and the rumors spread more.
Yeah.
So the origin of the haunting and purpose, the exact cause of the haunting in the legend is obscure, but one thread, the spirit claimed it had been wronged or disrupted by Bell's land or burial ground. In some versions, an Indian burial mound or sacred ground was disturbed, which we know is no bueno. The spirit called itself Kate, or Old Kate, openly declared its antagonism towards John Bell Sr., calling him Old Jack. And I did hear, like, the witch did not like him at all. One of the primary apparent objectives of the entity, the death of John Bell Sr., the legend states that the witch afflicted him repeatedly until he died on December 20th, 1820. So early manifestations. Strange animals. The legend records that John Bell first encountered a creature resembling a dog with a rabbit's head near his property. Okay.
Like the dog had a rabbit's head.
Like for its head.
Oh, not like holding a rabbit's head.
Maybe it's just a big ass rabbit.
Maybe it's like a giant jackalope.
Yeah. Later, children and slaves reported large black dogs, odd birds, and strange apparitions. Knocking, scratching, and chains at the Bell home. The family heard knocks, chains dragging, bed covers were pulled, hair pulled, sheets shaken, and unseen assailants slapping and pinching them, especially their daughter Betsy. Which, like, I don't. Whenever I see that in like scary movies, like somebody's like laying in bed and then all of a sudden the sheet just pulls from them, I'm like, oh my god, if that happened to me, I'd like pass away.
Yeah, I would freak out.
The spirit began verbally interacting, voices in the night, responding to questions, naming people, telling secrets. In some accounts, it mimicked voices, quoted sermons spoken elsewhere, and or repeated private conversations.
That was quite the active spirit, my gosh.
Yes. The haunting became increasingly physical. The witch slapped John Bell, pulled his shoes from his feet, inflicted seizures, and declared, "I have got him this time." Ha ha ha. No, it didn't say that. Regarding Bell's condition, it did say that. I have got him this time. On December 19th, 1820, according to the legend, a vial of poison was found in Bell's cupboard. The spirit claimed to have poisoned him, and he died on December 20th, 1820. After his death, the legend says that the spirit disrupted the funeral service with drunken songs and laughter.
So they were excited.
Yeah. The spirit told the family it would return in 7 years, and some accounts say it did reappear again. The site associated with the haunting, the Bell Witch Cave near the Bell Farm, has become a tourist attraction and is linked to later paranormal reports. So
I want to go there.
I know, it'd be cool.
How far is it from?
I don't like. I think a couple hours. I ain't doing all that. I'm like, not this time. We'll go. There's a few places I want to investigate in Tennessee, so we need to have like a Tennessee trip. But yeah, so the nature of the entity and its powers. The Bell Witch is described as largely invisible, but manifesting with touches, slaps, hanging objects in the air, animal shapes, voices coming from thin air. And she was able to mimic voices, converse, quote sermons, and give personal information that a ghost would not know. Unless they were really a ghost. They were saying. It could shapeshift. It could appear as an animal or in other forms according to later embellishments. It seemed focused on emotional and psychological torment, teasing, mockery, threats, as well as physical effects. The legend reflects frontier anxieties. People think like this is something it would symbolize isolation, unknown forces, illnesses, death, and blurred line between spirituality and survival in the early 19th century America. It connects to folk belief in witchcraft, spiritual retribution, unsettled land, which would be like burial mounds, frontier appropriation. The witch becomes a figure of transgressive power, speaking out, mocking authority, and disturbing social order. These are people. This is symbolism that people have seen in this.
This is all the same.
The Bell Witch. Yeah.
Why is
they made a whole ass
why
movie?
Is it so active? Why is she so petty?
I don't know. Petty
Just
Davis
so that she got endless time on her hands. That's why.
Petty Davis eyes.
I mean, my God, I've never heard so much about one like spirit.
I know. The legend has become one of America's most famous ghost witch stories. And some skepticism exists, obviously. Historians note lack of contemporary documentation, possible embellishments, and the way the legend was shaped into the 19th century and afterwards. Yeah. So
that's wild that
I know
so many people have encountered it in so many different ways.
Yeah. It's that movie though. It's pretty decent.
What movie?
An American Haunting.
Oh, I think I've watched that. I have to watch it again.
Like it's one of those like period pieces. It's like, you know, a little slow moving at first, you know, like like The Witch or something like that. So one thing down in Appalachia, like this is Tennessee, the Great Smoky Mountains. Right on the other side of the mountain from Gatlinburg is Cherokee, North Carolina. There's a lot of Cherokee people. That's, you know, a big area that they are in. So a lot of these stories, I feel like a lot of Appalachian stories mesh with or from Native tales and native
Yeah.
folklore, like the
Yeah.
Wampus cat. We'll talk about that Appalachian cryptid, but that came from a native story.
Yeah.
Another one that I'm going to discuss is the Raven Mocker, which is a Cherokee witch legend, and that's kind of what they think it looks like.
We should have Holly on again in the future to talk about like native
Yeah.
Appalachian lore.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so here is an in-depth look at the lore of the Raven Mocker, its origins, characteristics, and behavior in Cherokee mythology, and by extension, Appalachian tradition. The Raven Mocker appears in the mythology of the Cherokee people of the southeastern United States in the Appalachian region. In Cherokee, the name, I'm not even going to try to pronounce it because I don't want to disrespect, but it's a very long name. But it's
Can I see it?
Right there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to try. But its name is translated loosely as death spirit, mocker, or he who imitates and mocks. The mocker being from the raven call it utters. So he has a raven call. In the broader worldview of Cherokee spirituality, humans, the living, the spirit world, and natural world are intertwined. Evil or harmful spirits exist through though the culture does not typically frame all beings in strictly good versus evil with Christian assumptions, but in balance, force, ritual, harm, protection. Balance is good in any religion or non-religion. The Raven Mocker stands out among the more terrifying of those beings. It is not simply a mischievous person, a trickster, but one that specifically preys on the vulnerable that are ill or dying. So, as I showed you that picture, the Raven Mocker is also said to appear often as an old withered man or woman, gaunt, ancient seeming, especially when seen by those who have special sight, medicine men. When it moves or flies, it can take a fiery shape, flies through the air in a fiery shape with arms outstretched like wings and sparks trailing behind and a rushing sound like the noise of a strong wind. It also emits a cry described as the sound of a raven diving. Not exactly a raven's normal call, but ominous.
That sounds intense.
I know. Kind of cool, though.
Yeah.
Often invisible to ordinary people, only those with special spiritual ritual capacity, medicine men and women, can see its true form.
Sagan. Sorry.
Okay.
I forget we're on. Just won't stop.
He's always licking. My dog is here. The Raven Mocker targets the sick or dying people. When I'm like laughing, I'm not laughing at this. The people whose life force is already weakened. So sick, ill people, dying people. It arrives at the house with someone ill, often at night. Once there, it may torment the dying person, pressing on their chest so they can't breathe, sometimes lifting them from the bed. After the death, it is believed to remove the heart of the victim, though no mark is left on the body, and consume it. By doing this, it is said to absorb the remaining years of the victim's life, how long the victim might have lived, and add them to his own life. Because the victim's body shows no typical mark or attack, the death may appear natural, which adds to the fear and suspicion. The wails of cries of the raven are considered an omen of its presence. Hearing such a cry is sometimes equated with someone soon dying, like a warning or something. The Raven Mocker embodies fear of death, especially sudden or unexplained death among the vulnerable. It supplants natural death with supernatural agency. Although powerful, the Raven Mocker is not invincible. The lore gives methods of detecting it and even defeating it. It'd be like a demon slayer. Oh, now my dog's in a bark. Okay. A medicine man could sit at the bedside of the dying and use special means. For example, sprinkle dust of old tobacco onto a flat heap of ashes near the hearth. If certain patterns of ignition occur, Dutch catching fire off-center or bursting, these are signs a witch or Raven Mocker is approaching or has entered.
Interesting.
If a Raven Mocker is seen in its true form, the lore says it will die within 7 days. In practice, the community might employ ritual vigilance, protect the sick, perhaps burn the house, or drive out the spirit once detected. The mere presence of a skilled medicine man at the that's a baddie at the bedside was an important preventative measure. It's a baddie. Oh man. Some suggest the raven mocker belongs to a broader class of malevolent spirits or night walkers who prey on the ill and the dying. Hello, Lawrence. Okay.
Oh hey.
Other witches in Cherokee lore fear the raven mocker. Interestingly, among the bad spirits, it has its own dread. So it's like the bad of the
Where
bad.
is this supposed to?
This is Cherokee, so this is going to be in the Great Smoky Mountains.
Oh, okay.
Where we're going to be.
Where? Oh,
yeah. I'm not going to go provoke it.
Not provoke it. No.
Be like, toodaloo, I'm here to talk. I'm here to visit.
Can you come on her podcast, please?
Yeah. I'm going to be a guest on the podcast. Mocker? Oh my gosh. The Raven Mocker has entered popular culture through books, games, and horror stories as a dark mythic figure. So he's getting a following. In some Appalachian tourism and events, for example, in or near Cherokee territory, the legend is referenced for haunted experiences. I know, you haven't been to Cherokee. It's like you have to go all the way up to the top of the mountain where you can hike up. It used to be called Klingham's Dome, but now it's something native, which is nice that they actually changed. Yeah. And then you go down the other side. That's been years. As with many indigenous myths, care must be taken. The story belongs in a cultural context and should not be appropriated without respect. Like I always say, anytime I speak about native folklore or tales or whatever, if you look into it, look for a book or info written by somebody who is of Cherokee descent.
Not just if you want native information.
Yes, go to them first. Because we don't know shit, and they definitely they know their stories. Yeah. So those are the two witch stories. The thing you're going to talk about is something that I really love. I don't consider myself a witch. You do. I don't. You
don't?
No. I'm just the Appalachian folk magic, that kind of stuff.
I mean, I use the term loosely.
I don't like to say witch because I have Christ-based faith. I don't like the word Christian. No offense to anybody who's a Christian, because there's so many horrible people that do things in the name of God, and but it's seems, I don't know, the idea of a Christian witch is kind of weird to me. I don't know.
I think you're...
I just do what I do.
Yeah, the same.
Yeah.
But I just use it as, I don't like labels.
Yeah.
To begin with, you know that.
Yeah.
But I just use it as a term to encompass all that I do.
If somebody called me one, I wouldn't really care.
Because if somebody's well, what do you do? What are you? That's that. I'm just gonna say I'm a witch.
I'm a bitch.
That's it. Yeah. I can't tell you. It's not just one thing.
I'm just a bitch.
So many things that I.
Yeah.
Howdy, everyone that's here.
Yes. Hello.
But yeah, so that gets us into granny magic or Appalachian folklore or spirituality, or just kind of what's been passed down from generation to generation, the wisdom and the home remedies and the using what comes from the earth to fix your ailments. And you know
why a lot of times they did that, because I've spoke on this, I touched on this at the Appalachian Paracon at the Blenner House a year and a half or so ago. And I think what I've read is that these medicine ladies, these granny witches, they did what they did. They weren't very first off, they're in a really rural community, so there's not hospitals and things like that close by, if hospitals were even a thing at that time, but you know what I mean, their doctors weren't that close. and they weren't trusting of outsiders. You know, they went to these old wise women because they didn't trust strangers, because a lot of them weren't used to seeing people
So
like
they
that.
were literally just doing what any.
He's gonna lick my mouth.
He has
Okay.
terrible breath.
He does. He's dying on the inside.
Yeah, so is Penny.
Okay.
But they were literally just doing what any indigenous or ancient person would do, and that is use what the land gives you to treat you. Like, it's just before we had all this modern day
medicine.
Your dogs are this one's over here eating its butthole. This one's over here breathing its stank breath everywhere. Before we had all this modern day stuff, like this is, they call it witchcraft, but it's just what they did.
That crazy witchcraft.
I can never talk without her doing this.
Although it's
I'm quiet
taboo.
the whole time she does her spiel. She busts out into Broadway.
She was talking to the dog during my
for
spiel.
like 1 second.
Well, it was distracting. Oh my God. All right. So go on.
Talk about distracting. So I can't even talk now.
Yeah, they used, I thought it said buttholes. I need glasses.
You are a butthole.
These granny witches used herbs. What is that word?
Well, yeah, okay. So they used
their roots.
Herbs,
they
just like roots. Right.
Yeah.
They used herbs, they used plants. They're gonna use all natural things to fix whatever sickness you have, your cough, your cold, your anything having to do with pregnancy. They were your midwives. They were
something too, like they work the root. They use that. They're, another group of people that, African Americans that came here that were slaves, they did hoodoo. That, and they would say Christian psalms, but like they work the root, what I mean? So it's like, that's why I tell people, like, white people, there's conflicting reports. There's many Black people that do not want white people using or doing hoodoo. And then I know some people that are actually like brought in and they're white, but they were accepted because they know their stuff. I really don't know. I'm not speaking on that because whatever, that's, but if you like that aspect, like hoodoo, and you think, working with the root and, doing that stuff, Appalachian folk magic, it's very similar. Obviously it's all based on working the root, and everybody had their struggles. Obviously African American people had horrible things happen to them, but a way lesser degree. A lot of the Appalachian people, and still to this day, are, poor, have nothing. Poverty is a big thing, so they work with what comes naturally on the land. So
yeah, I mean, it's about connecting. That's what differentiates, what they did versus what the white man's Christianity did. They were connected to the earth. They were connected to their roots. They were connected to their ancestors, everything that came before them.
Yeah.
Everything that came before they were told how they were going to pray and,
yeah. Have you
obey
ever,
God.
I mean, well, we do it here, but like to go into like really, and when I think of the great, like West Virginia and like the Great Smoky Mountains, which encompasses Tennessee and North Carolina, a larger area, but it's just really the heart, in my opinion, of Appalachia. And like, it's so, and Appalachia is so ancient. Like, have you ever like just put your hands, I'm going to sound like such a hippie, but like touch a tree.
No, I do.
Put your hands in the dirt. Like, you can feel it.
Yes.
It's just so old, and it's pretty cool.
I know.
And I
can't wait to do it again.
I know. Especially if it's like raining a little bit. Perfect. But yeah, I don't know what the hell I was saying.
I don't know either. I was just thinking about standing there and like letting the wind. Oh, I just love whenever like you're just in the woods.
Yeah.
And then the wind is just like speaking to you. I can't.
I remember
can't wait
a
to be-
really specific time I was down there a couple years ago, and I was like kind of walking through a wooded area, and like it was starting to like rain, and I just remember like I just keep touching the trees and
Mhm.
passing by and like
Yeah.
just really feeling them.
I'm always touching trees or leaves or moss or yeah.
So I just did a TikTok the other day before we get off here, and it was about, and I had no idea. You know, every time I think I know like so much of what goes on in this region and the history and all that stuff, I find something I'm like, dog.
Yeah.
There is a 400 million year old ocean underneath
Yeah.
Appalachian, like Iapetus Ocean. I don't know all the scientific stuff right this second, but like it has to do with like Pangea. When Pangea was formed, it pushed the ocean under, and so we have like one of the, like the largest in the country, or maybe in the world. I don't know. Salt. I think it's the country. Salt like works or whatever. Like the only one. It's the only one in the country. And it's in West Virginia. They have these like mines and these things that go down into this salt, and it's like supposed to be like, I don't know. I really don't. Salt tastes like salt to me, so I really don't know what salt is superior. But yeah, it's really cool.
That is pretty neat.
I talk about it. It's on, you know, there's a reel on our Facebook.
On my TikTok.
It's on the TikTok too, but it's also on here. But we're going to hop off here. And for those listening later on Spotify, we're not going to be on TikTok. But right now, for those watching live, we're going to go over to TikTok.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So
we're going over to our TikTok.
But it's not going to
be on live.
I mean, we could just be staring at the wall. So, I mean, but we might, you know,
Who knows?
we'll talk to whoever wants to come over there. Probably be on for like 20 minutes or so. So head over to @Appalachia After Dark on TikTok. And we hope you all have a good night. We're going to film content down in Tennessee. We hope to make like maybe 1 or 2 actual YouTube videos.
Yeah.
One like kind of fun, where we're just going around like a little like a vlog, and then we'll do one where we like go visit different haunted locations and speak about them and show you some stuff. And then we'll just have, we're gonna film like
it'll be fun.
We're gonna do, we might do one of our pre-recorded podcasts from the hot tub. So
no, we'll do that.
But yeah, the cabin we have is really cool, so we'll definitely do a tour of that. But
Excited.
I will talk to you all soon.
Thanks for being here, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
What am I doing?
Jenn and Coco sit by the fire, talking about the tales that never tire. Ghosts and ghouls up in the trees, whispering secrets on the breeze. Down in the holler where shadows hide, lights flicker where the spirits glide. They swear they saw Jim, now gone, walking around with his boots still on.